I love supporting small Renaissance fairs. Hi, I'm Hannah. Thank you so much for coming to my channel where I talk all things costuming, cosplay, and events. Today we are talking about the Rio Renaissance Festival. I am going to do a little bit of an update though at this moment, so if you are not interested in that, feel free to skip forward a little bit. Basically, it's been a minute since I've posted a video. Right after I went to the Rio Renaissance Fair, I got in a car accident. I was fine, the other driver was fine, but my car was totaled. So that was a very stressful time. I had a lot of life things I had to deal with, and then work got crazy. So I was unable to literally sit down and record a video because I just had so much going on. I have since bought a new car and things are kind of getting back to the normal groove. So hopefully I should return to a much more normal posting schedule. But anyway, thanks for your patience and thanks for coming back. So the Rio Renaissance Festival. You might be thinking, isn't it the Rio Renaissance Festival? Let me tell you, it is Rio in Ohio. I think about maybe, it's got to be at least 15 years ago, maybe more. There is a small university called Rio Grande University in Ohio, and my brother was looking at going to school there potentially, so they went on a campus tour, and this story is like ingrained in my brain. This tour guide was talking about how Hillary Clinton had visited campus and she kept calling it Rio Grande, like most people not from this area would call it. And this tour guide goes, "It is Rio in Ohio." And I don't know, I just think that is beautiful and I think about it a lot. Anyway, so it is the Rio Renaissance Festival because it's Rio in Ohio. I found out about this event, I think somebody here on YouTube recommended that I go check it out. So I added that to my calendar for this year and I was able to go. This is a one-day event in late September. And like I said, it is in a small, tiny college town. Admission is $5 cash only, with kids 6 and under free, and there is no additional charge for parking. Similar to other small fairs I've been to recently, I did have trouble finding this location. I copy pasted the address off of the Facebook event and it took me to some like dirt road that I was like, I'm probably gonna be murdered back here. I think what it took me to was like maybe a back entrance to the park or whatever. I'm not really sure. But I like pulled over a little bit, pulled up the map that was also posted on the Facebook page, and paid a little bit more attention this time around and realized that it is basically across from the original Bob Evans, like the Bob Evans restaurant. So I put that into my Apple map and was able to get over there and get into the park. And I will say I got close to the park, but it was way far back from the road is where it was set, and the the signs at the edge of the road were so tiny. I was like really looking for it. So I don't know, maybe that's just me being a little directionally challenged and not being familiar with the area, but I had some trouble finding it. It is so cute. I'm glad that it is far back away from the road because it's just in this gorgeous little park. I think there's like a pond for fishing, or maybe it's just a pond, I don't really know, and this cute bridge and this nice winding path that gets you back into the woods. The fair itself did not go into the woods, but there was a trail at the end of it to take a stroll in the woods, and I just thought it was really cute. And I think there's some really good photo opportunities there as well. I will say parking was a bit of a nightmare. I don't think there were any attendants helping people park. Again, for a one-day event, I understand. And maybe there were some attendants earlier, but I got there noon or later. I don't exactly remember. So maybe they had already stopped for the day, but people were just kind of parking all over the place. When there was like this nice little flat area where a lot of cars could have parked, people were just kind of parking on the side of the path, which I ended up doing because I was like, I don't know what's happening. It looks like people are stopped up in the road further up, so I'm just gonna stop here and get out. So I contributed to the problem. Sorry. Just know that you might kind of be on your own for parking. Coming in through the gates, I did pay my admission in cash, and they asked me if I was planning to partake in any adult beverages, and since I was by myself and I wasn't going to be there very long, I said no thank you. Had I said yes, they would have given me a wristband, so I appreciate that safety precaution there after they say my ID, right? After the initial walk into the park, there is actually this little covered pavilion area where they had the food, and then part of that was like sectioned off for those adult beverages. I will say I got there a little in the afternoon and the trash cans were overflowing. Like, it was a little insane. I'm not sure what that was about, but it is something that I did know. There were a ton of cute little shops, some that I have seen at a lot of other small run fairs, but I also saw a handful of new ones, which was amazing. Some vendors did have some mass-produced items, just something to be aware of. I did buy from this shop that I see all the time, and I love their stuff. Usually there's not much kind of in my price range, but today I found this cute little green velvet choker and this little beaded sunflower for the dashboard of my car. They did have on like all the event promo stuff that there was a costume contest at this fair, and unfortunately I had to work later in this day, so I was not able to stay and be a part of it. If I go again, I would definitely try to make sure I could stay there the whole time so I could do the costume event. Even if I don't win, I just kind of want to see how it goes. You know what I mean? I will also say there were some really amazing costumes, so I'm sure it was a great show. They actually had this little covered stage in the back closer to where the trees and the walking path and everything was. So it's not just like some random people in the middle of the grass. There's actually like a little stage and a little place for it, which I thought was really cute. At that stage, they also had some live music, and there were some other activities going on throughout as well, such as axe throwing. There were kids activities where they could sword fight with foam swords and other things like that. They even had a little puppet show, which I thought was so adorable. I've never seen a Ren Fair have a little puppet show like that. So I thought it was a really unique experience, and I really, really enjoyed it. Overall, it was a really cute event, and I enjoyed my time there. It was quite a drive for me. It was almost all the way to West Virginia. The weekend before this event, I was actually at the Mothman Festival in West Virginia, so it was almost like taking the exact same path. I just didn't go all the way to West Virginia this time. If I am able to go to this event next year and stay for that costume contest, I'd probably go again. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a long drive for me. Like, I loved the event. I thought it was really cute and honestly really well done, but it's just kind of far for me. It is a very family-friendly event. There were lots of kids, and they did offer adult beverages, which is not always the case at these smaller events like this. And even though it was difficult to find, I really, really, really enjoyed the location. There's a lot of great photo ops and views, and it's just in this beautiful part of like the foothills of Appalachia. So yeah, overall, great event, and Rio in Ohio all the way. And that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would be so kind to leave a like, a comment, or even subscribe or share the video with a friend, it really, really helps me and this channel out, and I will love you forever. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.